Tio, what do you think should happen to AB now?
Honestly, I think he should go and, number one, apologize. Talk to Mayock and try to see if they can resolve this. They've put so much into getting Antonio Brown to the Oakland Raiders. Obviously, we've heard a lot about what happened in Pittsburgh, but obviously since that, there's been a lot that has transpired since then. So obviously with this latest incident, this is probably the icing on the cake. Everybody's obviously is probably rooting for the suspension. But there's so much riding on this season. There's so much riding on next season, going to Vegas, that they've invested so much in him. I don't think the answer is suspending him right away. If there's any way possible, and I think Drew Rosenhaus has said it, they're trying to resolve this behind closed doors. If they can do that and move forward, I think it's a good thing.
T.O., I disagree with you.
Of course.
I think he should be. I think he should be. And it's good to see you, bro. But I think he should be suspended immediately. And I'm gonna tell you why specifically. Max and I religiously talk about how we believe you've gotten a bad rap. If this were you, they'd have been all over it. The fact of the matter is, when you look at Antonio Brown, it's one thing to act up like he did in Pittsburgh because you're trying to get out of a bad situation and you're trying to get your money. Similar to you in Philadelphia before you departed. In the case of Antonio Brown, he got $30 million guaranteed. The Raiders have nothing to do with his helmet. The Raiders had nothing to do with his bad feet, okay? He, as far as I'm concerned, brought all of this on himself.
Self-inflicted,
and it's self-inflicted, and that is why I say I was suspended, because I gave him his money. There's no excuse for this. To that you say what?
Like I said, what you just mentioned, all of it is self-inflicted. I can't really put a finger on what's behind the behavior.
Okay.
All I can say, I'm not gonna go into name calling, but he's been very unprofessional.
Right.
I'm not condoning a lot of what he's done, but I think with money comes power, and I think with money comes respect. And a lot of that, I'm sure he's witnessed with the Pittsburgh Steelers before he got money, before he was Antonio Brown. He was that sixth rounder with a chip on his shoulder. When you talk about power and respect, he witnessed, I'm sure, the things that, again, when you post what has transpired as far as the Mayock finding you, missing practice, things of that nature, when you're a superstar, there is superstar treatment. And I guarantee you, by Mayock finding him, he probably felt a certain way because now he's the star with the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, there's superstar responsibility. First of all, T.O.,
right.
Let me just say this. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
I haven't been able to congratulate you personally.
Appreciate it.
You should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the thing that always, like, I'm passionate about this subject when it comes to you because you are a diva receiver, many are, in my opinion, okay? But don't lump everyone in together. Receivers have big egos, but you only ever showed up and balled.
Right.
You were criticized and called selfish because you played on one leg in the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe what I was hearing because at the time I felt like if it was a white quarterback who did the same thing, he'd have been praised and lauded. But an African-American receiver, playing, especially one who's expressed himself, playing on one leg is called selfish, and then you were the best player on the field. So but you are not Antonio Brown. He is not you.
No.
Let me tell you what Antonio Brown is doing and why they got to let him go. Not just suspend him, they got to let him go. He is holding my beering himself. You know, like people trying to one-up himself? He's one-upping himself. Oh, you think that was crazy? You think it was nuts me getting out of town? That was to get the money. Now I'm going to complain about the helmet. Now I'm going to tweet out stuff and throw my teammates under the bus. Oh, you think that's crazy? Now I'm going to fight my GM. And it's getting worse and worse. It's escalating. And T.O., he's acting like he's been through wars with these guys, and he's earned it over 5-6 years. He hasn't been through a single battle with this team, and he's acting like he's been there and done that, throwing him under the bus and wanting to fight the GM. T.O., this is not you. He's got to go.
I get it. I don't think he's going against his teammates. Obviously, this is something with the GM. Again, like I said, with power, with money comes power, and again, respect and entitlement. Again, I try to figure out, okay, why would he post the fine? Why would he post that? And for me, that comes with, he's obviously witnessed guys in that locker room in Pittsburgh with superstar treatment that have probably gotten stuff swept under the rug. But the fact that he's Antonio Brown, he's the star, he's almost the face of the Oakland Raiders. He feels like, okay, he can get away with some of these things, and he felt slighted in a sense. Do I condone it? Is it right?
But
Absolutely
if he wants
not.
to be treated that way, then what he's got to do is accept the fine, shut up, and be the face of the franchise.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pick up on something T.O. said.
Absolutely.
Because the last time I had a conversation with Antonio Brown, which was in the process of him getting the hell out of Pittsburgh. One of the things he brought up was the treatment that Big Ben Roethlisberger received.
I'm telling you, we
and
don't.
So that's
trust
what
me.
that's what you're alluding to, right?
Trust me, absolutely, absolutely. Again, like I said, being in the locker room, I've been in that situation before. When I was in San Francisco, Mary used to treat me a different way than he did, just say, Jeff Garcia. I saw these things happen. Nobody knew about it, but I saw these things happen, and he treated me a certain way because, like I said, whether it was I'm an African American, he was a white guy, whatever the case may be, I was treated a different way. I was assessed fines differently than Jeff Garcia or any other guy.
You know why? Because this is what the receivers, I think, in the NFL got to get through their heads. I don't care how great you are. You're not a quarterback. If you can't throw the ball,
but I bring
you
the
get
same
different
type
rules.
of cachet. I brought a lot to the table. So even though
No
Jeff
doubt,
Garcia
T.O., but
was
you
a
didn't throw
quarterback,
the ball. That's
it
the
doesn't
bottom
matter.
line.
But I caught the ball.
No
I made difficult catches. If he didn't throw the ball right where I needed, my catch radius, I turned short passes into long passes. I made him look like a good quarterback, and like I said, I couldn't do anything without him.
You're proving the point that receivers want to be treated like quarterbacks, but y'all just not quarterbacks.
But we bring a lot to the table. Not everybody's the same.
And what I think what T.O. is saying is that it's not like Jeff Garcia was Steve Young or Joe Montana.
Sure.
He was Jeff Garcia.
You were a better wideout than he was a quarterback, right?
Yeah, that's fair. With that being said, Tio, how much of the blame is on the Raiders?
Well, they knew what they were getting. Again, like I said, you knew going into this whole process. They gave
You
up some picks
think they knew it was this bad, though?
No, I don't think they knew it was this bad. But again, like I said, this is something what we mentioned is self-inflicted. Antonio Brown needs to look himself in the mirror and change some things about him, the person. The football player we know is going to come to show up. But him, the person, those are some things that he needs to change.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.